Michonne Gary is the newest Packer. We are currently waiting on a phone call from him, so we will speak to him in just a few minutes. We hope to get that to you later in the show. But what we know about him, he was the 2016 #1 recruit coming out of high school, played his college ball at Michigan, decided to forego his senior season, so just 3 years at Michigan. He only played 9 games last year, had a shoulder injury, but it looks like Brian Gutekunst again sticking to form. They go defense again. That's been the theme historically. So the Packers make their first pick. They stay in that slot. Again, they pick at number 30 as well. Packers Hall of Famer Johnny Gray is in the building with us here at Lambeau Field. We're going to have him coming up later in the show to get his expert analysis. But again, this is the first time in 10 years that the Packers have 2 picks in the first round. It was B.J. Raji and Clay Matthews. Now it's Michonne Gary, and we are patiently awaiting who they will take with that second pick at number 30 overall. For now, we'll send it back inside the studio. I'm Josh Moser, live at Lambeau Field. We'll see you again in a bit. That's right, Michelle, at 44 and 75. A lot of excitement seeing who the Packers will get. If you want to talk about notable second-round picks, Jordy Nelson, Randall Cobb, Devontae Adams. I'm listing off a bunch of receivers. I know Packers fans really want to see another offensive weapon. Johnny, they get rid of pick number 114. They acquired that from the Redskins, trading away Hog Clintix, as well as pick 118. Again, 2 fourth-round picks to move up those 9 spots. But it's an athletic safety, something like you used to be back in the day.
I wasn't that fast.
Oh, you weren't that fast. Was it 4.36?
Oh, he's running 4.36, and you watch. We saw a little bit of the tape on him, and he's very quick. He's fast. He accelerates downhill. He gets to make the plays. And the one thing that's nice with that great speed, and I know Pettin wants to do this. He really wants to disguise his defense, really wants to throw the offense, kind of confuse him a little bit. But so with Savage, he can sit there and kind of move off to the side and wait, and then all of a sudden go ahead and get into your defense. He can do a very good job of disguising the defense and utilizing his speed to get to where he really needs to be.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting how they're building this defense. They are putting all of their money up front. Zadarius Smith going to make over $22 million this next year. Preston Smith getting paid, I think it's $18 million this next year. And then you upgrade the back end with Adrian Amos, and now this pick here with Savage. And Packers are officially on the clock at 75. We've been talking about Elton Jenkins. They go offensive line with their third pick, another guy to protect Aaron Rodgers.
Another guy to protect him, but he's also another guy that the Packers have picked is very versatile. He played center the last couple of years in college, but get projected as a guard coming here. But he says he can play all positions. He's pretty pumped about coming to Green Bay.
Yeah, and he was in that zone blocking scheme at Mississippi State. That's what they're going to do here. Got the new offense under Matt LaFleur, and it's really interesting to see what they did. Defense, now offensive line. Everybody thinking a weapon. Packers pick is in. Where do you think they're going to go, Johnny?
How about another offensive player? How about a tight end?
We need a tight end. Right now it's looking like it is Mercedes Lewis, Robert Tonyan, and, of course, Jimmy Graham. Those are the only 3 on the roster right now. Lance Kendricks, still a free agent. And here we have somebody walking to the podium to announce the Packers pick. And
Aaron Campman.
And here's Aaron announcing right now, so stay with us. We are watching the TV just like you at home. And here comes the Packers selection from the 2-time Pro Bowler from Aaron. Packers fans, of course, in the house. We know how they travel, and it is Jase Sternberg, tight end out of Texas A&M. And just like you talked about, Johnny, it's another guy that can stretch the field, big tight end, another target for Aaron Rodgers.
Another target, another youngster to go in there. Like you just already talked about the 3 veterans that are already there. A good group of guys to learn from. It'll be awesome for the Packers to have them.
Yeah, Brian Angelicchio moving on. He was the former tight ends coach. And really since Jermichael Finley, they've been looking for a guy. Jared Cook was good here. Martellus Bennett didn't work out. But to get a young player that can be a tight end for a very long time, that's something that this team has been missing for quite some time.
It'd be nice to have that kind of oversized wide receiver that can get out there, that can come down, like you said, Jermichael Finley. But Jared Cook was really the guy that can get down there, go up and get the football. Need a playmaker there, so hopefully he can do it.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit different because of the zone blocking scheme. So that tight end's going to have a little bit more blocking responsibilities. I know everybody wanted T.J. Hawkinson, they wanted Noah Fant, but it ends up coming from Texas A&M. So they get their guy in the tight end position. Well, we got 2 defense, 2 offense to start this draft. How do you think of the balance so far, Johnny?
I like the balance. I like the versatility, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Guys that can run, guys that can move around, play different positions. And again, this is kind of a feeling you get of Matt LaFleur, what he wants with his team. He's putting a lot of youth, bringing some youngsters in here to kind of push those veterans.
Yeah, exciting to see. Again, remember the 4th-round picks have been traded. That's what the Packers did when they moved up yesterday. So we'll keep you posted on any more moves. We're going to see you a little bit later in the show. Exciting time for Packers fans. They get their first guy in 2019 for new head coach Matt LaFleur, and they go defense again. And it seems like they really want to put pressure on the quarterback.
Well, they want to put pressure on the quarterback, but we also noticed last year there are some depth issues. So they went out there and got a young player that can come in here and get this defensive line some extra help. We saw some injuries late in the season. Kenny Clark, Mo Wilkinson we saw get hurt earlier in the year. So you got to go out there and get some young talent and keep some pressure on the quarterback.
And Michonne Gary, this guy is a freak athlete, just 21 years old, so very young, got a lot of upside. Again, he was the #1 prospect coming out of high school in 2016. He can play a multitude of positions, and we've seen with Mike Pettin, Johnny, that they love to move people around and exploit matchups.
They really do, and this will be the second year that Coach Pettin's going to have to work with his defense, and you got to believe at the start of the year last year, they wanted to go out there and they wanted just to confuse the quarterback and the offense, and they were unable to do that because of the injuries they had. So this year, he's looking to get some talent in there, get a chance to work with these guys. Second year in the defense, they should do well.
Yes. All right, so Rashawn Gary, again, 3-year player, left a year early from Michigan. And we just have the Packers making a trade. So they have on the clock now, they have the 21st overall pick moving up from number 30 that's just coming in. So we're going to stay with you until we find out who the Packers will get. So we know that Noah Fant is gone. He was the tight end from Iowa. He goes at 20 to the Broncos after they traded from Pittsburgh. So, Johnny, my question is you. They obviously want somebody. Who do they get?
I'm going to go with the offensive line. Just as we just talked about the depth they needed on the defensive line. Look, we had some injuries on the offensive line last year. Balaga going down. We saw Lane Taylor get hurt at the end of the year. Bakhtiari, the last couple of years have been kind of banged up. But, yeah, get an offensive lineman, get in there. We want Aaron Rodgers to be the Aaron Rodgers we saw 2 or 3 years ago. We need to get some offensive help. Yeah,
Brian Balaga, now 30 years old, also had that ACL, came back last year from that. Corey Lindsley's been a rock at the center position. But as you said, you've got to protect your $100 million man. And as we continue our coverage here, Johnny, so we're thinking offensive line for this next pick. We're going to stay with you until we find out what that is. We want to keep you right here. And, Johnny, they're starting through voluntary minicamp right now. And what do you think this team needs to do under new head coach Matt LaFleur?
Well, just to get some continuity with this team, he's already kind of stepped in and kind of made himself known, made some changes over here at 1265, kind of saying this is the new Green Bay Packers and get them back on the road to glory. But it's nice to know that Cole Madison is in camp. So
Huge.
Now, with that being said, now this could be a difference maker. How has he looked in minicamp so far and his state of mind? So it'd be nice to see him come out there. He's a mid-round pick last year, so it'd be nice to see if he can get out there and play to his ability.
Yeah, contract year for Jason Spriggs. He was that second-round pick that they traded up for from Indiana, and he really hasn't been that good in that tackle position. Great measurables, but maybe that's another reason because he couldn't produce. Maybe you go offensive line here just in case Brian Balaga does decide to kind of wind things down here at 30 years old.
I agree. I also want to believe that Coach LaFleur Matt is going to want to go with some durability. We've seen so many injuries in the last couple of years. Guys not really playing 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games. It messes with the continuity of the offensive line. We saw what happened last year. But I think getting these more durable guys, durable players to get in here that can be on the field week in and week out is really going to help this team next year.
Packers pick is now in. Again, it is a trade with Seattle. We are hearing that it is a trade for 2 first-round picks. Again, they are moving up from number 30 to number 21, Johnny. We're to see them moving up because last year we saw them move back the year to fourth round picks, not first-round picks, 2 fourth-round picks from Seattle, again moving up 9 spots from 30 to 21, and momentarily we will have the pick. Johnny says offensive lineman. We've also got to talk safety because they probably need to go with one of those to pair him with Adrian Amos, who they just picked up.
They did, and it'd be nice to get another safety in here to we saw that Tremont Williams did go from corner to safety. Not sure if he's going to stay there. Is he going to move back to corner? But I tell you what, this next pick, moving up and around, just to give us an idea of what Coach Matt LaFleur is going to, what kind of team he wants to have. Looking forward to that.
All right, so it is Maryland defensive back Darnell Savage. So they go another DB. You got Josh Jackson, Jair Alexander. Now you're going another Big Ten player. So two guys from the Big Ten.
Yes.
You go Maryland and, of course, Michigan with Gary. So here he is. He is that safety, exactly what we just talked about. Defensive back, safety, Darnell Savage, again from Maryland. So also in that safety group, a guy we got to bring up, Josh Jones, second-round pick. You got to expect big things from him this year as well.
You got it, because here's a guy that's been on the team for 2 years now, maybe going on 3, and big. He's got a lot of talent. I mean, you look at him at 6'2", with 6'1", you thought maybe he could be a hybrid, kind of outside linebacker, come inside. But with Mike Pettin's defense, maybe he's just now starting to learn to get into it. Like to see him be more involved.
All right, so he's Packers Hall of Famer Johnny Gray. Again, it is 2 fourth-round picks to the Seattle Seahawks, moving up from 30 to 21. Darnell Savage out of Maryland. So there you have it. The 2 picks are in for the Packers. Again, more to come in the first round. We'll have much more on Fox 11 News at 10. Hope to get Savage on the phone here. We'll bring that to you as quickly as we can, but for now we're going to send it back inside the studio. One more time, Packers Hall of Famer Johnny Gray. Mark, back to you.
All right, thank you.